It's been really cool, I guess, being a presenter that's passed the first few, because I've heard a lot of stuff that we do as well that maybe I don't have on here. And then I've already got a page of notes of stuff that I want to take back and kind of put into our process. So just a quick history of our facility, what we do. We're a packaging facility, so we take raw rolls of paper and convert them into corrugated boxes and corrugated sheets that we send out to other customers. So I've been there almost 20 years now. I started out on the machines. I've went to different departments. I was in maintenance for 5 years, and I was in safety about 9 years ago, and now I'm back in safety as an environmental health and safety facilitator there. So this is just a few slides. Some of those shows that I just already saw, some a lot nicer pictures and some cool graphics. I didn't put any pictures in here, but I think I'll improve it as I go along. But yes, we are in the VPP STAR category, and we've been just hitting 10 years. And actually just recently had an audit, a recertification audit. So it's good because we have some things here that we can build upon that came out of that audit. You know, anyone that's been in the program for a while has had multiple audits come through about every 3 to 4 years, and the different group finds different things, so it's always stuff you can improve upon. So these are things that we do to keep the momentum going. We have monthly safety meetings with alternating times to accommodate all 3 shifts. So we have about 132 employees, counting hourly, salary, management, and everybody. And obviously run 24 hours a day, right now 6 days a week. We have been for probably 8 months. So we coordinate the meeting to have one at 7 a.m. and then we have one at 2 p.m. So the swing shift folks will come in early and attend that one as well as days. And then our graveyard employees will come in at the 7 a.m. meeting and stay over. We've had some at 6. And tried that out, you know, and then day shift would come in early, but we found that 7 and 2 work really good. So every month we rotate it. So that's good to get more people involved. Our safety committee members only meetings monthly as well. So the safety meeting, we invite about 7 people every month, 7 to 8. And a lot of times most of them show up. It's voluntary. We put that up on the sign-up sheet. I keep a chart of who has come and who I've invited. And I usually invite them a few months down the road, and they'll come up to me and like, do I really have to come to it? You know, there's a few naysayers, not a whole lot of them, but we'll just say we'd really like you to. I just would like you to sit in on it. Maybe you'll have some ideas that you can share with us, or you can sit in and then tell me after if you don't like talking in front of people. So just try to accommodate all the different groups that might be in there. But the safety committee members meeting, we have that adjacent to the safety meeting a week later, and it's a smaller group of just the committee members, and we kind of speak about what came up during the meeting, what our action plans are, and what we're doing to move forward with those. Next here, our health and wellness team. We have one. I've heard a few of the other facilities here talk that they have one. It's really taken off in the last 3 to 4 years. So we have a gal in customer service that runs it, does an awesome job. 1 year it was just your whole body health, so you went from back to say knees to mental health, things like that. Well, this year has been like a kind of a disaster thing. If there were to be an earthquake around Christmas, we had things you would do in the event of a fire in your home because of the Christmas tree issues and things like that. So really cool. They have their own meetings, and then we report that out in the safety meeting. And then they have a billboard in the hallway that kind of has all their handouts per each month of the different topics. So that's been a good one. We have a Biggest Loser Challenge we're starting. We did one 6 months ago. I entered it, did okay, 5th place, and I'm back to my weight again. So anyway, we're doing another one in January, and I'm going for it this time. There was a couple people that were really blowing it out of the water, so I admit I kind of gave up, but I'm do good this time. But anyway, there's some fun things like that to get people more involved in health. We have monthly ergonomic meetings to discuss ergo issues out in the facility. Examples would be we have a lot of ink buckets out there because, of course, we print on the board, and they're typically 40 to 45 pounds. We kind of found that a few employees were having to go in different areas and carry them. We have some conveyors that all of our product run on, so we eliminated that years ago. Don't carry them over conveyors. Well, now we got to a point where we have a forklift driver. We load them up on a pallet and secure them, and then bring them out into the plant and do a central area so they get dispersed from there. Just an example, employees came up with that. We were trying to come up with ideas. Maintenance made little carts and things like that. But having the floor employees in there, I heard that earlier, they really come up with some of the best ideas, to be honest. I've been out on the floor, I know that helps, but you know, the more people you get involved, the better options you'll have. So also with the ergonomic standing stations, we have a lot of areas, so we've rotated employees and then added standing mats to help with that problem. So down to monthly safety audits, we've broken them up into multiple areas, rotating cross-functional teams, and approximately 30% of our workforce participates in them. So safety committee members are always on one of the safety audits, and then supervisors as well. And then we ask them to grab employees from the floor on all 3 different shifts to do a different area each month. So you've got these 11 areas broken out, you know, maybe these 2 machine centers and these 2 machine centers, but we give them to different people, so you have different eyes on them every month. And then, like I said, just grabbing an employee that isn't a safety committee member to go along with them and audit a machine center that's not their own, you know, because you get kind of familiar with it, you get comfortable with it. I mean, I fell victim to that years ago where I just would walk by something and someone would be with me and I'm like, wow, yeah, I walk by that every day, I'm used to it. It's not a hazard to me, I feel, but then you start talking to them about it. So anyway, getting more people involved in that has really helped out with our safety audit program, I feel. Some new activities added in 2018. Monthly safety newsletter and distributed out to all supervisors, leads, and plant personnel. And we kind of cover relevant topics that contained, you know, maybe a safety meeting reminder. It may be one of the training topics that came up, something from other facilities. Now that we're a big corporation, we have over 100 facilities to report to us. We were Boise years ago, real quick, and they would get a lot of information out there. There was only 30 facilities corporate-wide. So we always got those news flashes with pictures. Well, this company's so big that we weren't getting as many of those news flashes as we were hoping to. Well, now corporate's getting a little bit better with that and sending us more information. So we even have a little area in the restroom above. I noticed here there was some stuff over the stalls and things, but with information, and people, you know, do say, oh yeah, I noticed that you know, updated that and there was some new information up there to read. So those do really help, but this newsletter has really been helpful. We post it all over the plant. Yes, there's a front board and the supervisors alert the employees, but it's just more information to get out there. So it's always a good idea, I think, to have some fresh stuff rotating through in different areas. You don't want to keep the same stuff there for too long. And like I said, the company-wide, I kind of got ahead of myself, but they sent out the news flash and that we post around the facility. Near hit and hazard identification reports, we used to have like 4 different forms. I know people have, you know, had different examples, and I've taken some when I've come to some of these deals and used them. Well, now we've really condensed it down into actually what we call a 3-part memo. The employees also use them for vacation, if they want a day off. I mean, this is like the universal form out in the facility. It just says PCA, your name and date, and where you put the information. So we've condensed it down to that form, and it's starting to get a little more of an uptick of reports. I know I heard someone say, how many near misses do you get a month? We used to get quite a few, and I think once we all felt safer, or, you know, I don't know how to say that better, but we've become VPP. We are a much safer plant. We've been there 10 years, but it's you got to keep it going. And, you know, a lot of people will, you know, just, oh, no, there's no issues out there. Yeah, there is. You know, you got to be honest about it. We just had a little training this morning where I put up 20 different slides of issues that I just found around the plant, or I mock some up. But, you know, I always do at our facility so they can see that. It's always, there's stuff on the internet galore of other places, and you put that up there and it's helpful, but your own place, I feel, is more you know, instrumental in them like, whoa, yeah, okay, I can see that. I walk by that all the time. So that's one I'd always I'd comment on, is to use your own facility in the training. And then updating all our job safety analysis, or I've heard them job hazard analysis, to a new format that focuses on the hierarchy of control to eliminate the hazards. And I know most of you are probably familiar with that, but I kind of trained on it this morning that, you know, you want to eliminate it if you can. Okay, you can't eliminate all the hazards. We all know that, and then you just kind of go down that hierarchy of control where, okay, can you guard it? Okay, well, now you've got it guarded. Are you going to have a job JSA for it of how to avoid, you know, getting yourself near this hazard? And then PPE is like the last form of control. So our JSAs had that, but not in a real clean order, I feel. So Now we're cleaning them up, and that one came through with the VPP audit. It was another thing that we could upgrade and make better. So they're really good to have. So anyone that's in SHARP, very similar. I think if you have somebody come in and do an assessment, you really learn a lot about yourself and find ways to improve. So the opportunities that we have for 2018, ensure that all information on our various worksite analysis are consistently included in all applicable documents. So, our PPE assessments, make sure they line up with the JSAs. We just had a couple of things where it might be, hey, if you're going to handle the ink out there, make sure you wear gloves. Okay. Well, the other one said you got to have nitrile gloves on. So basically aligning those two so there's no confusion at all. The employees you talk to them out there, they know what to wear, but you hire somebody in brand new and they get all that information in the first few days with all the training. You want to make sure that everything's aligned and they aren't seeing different documents with some different statements. So that was a good one. A consistent message on lockout, that you must have control of the equipment you're entering. That's just something that all of us want to make sure that's out there and understood. The control, the fact that you got to have something, whether it be a key to your lock or a key to something that locks out on the machine, you want to have that control before you go in the machinery. So that's something that we did a training on, and I think it was well received. And I stood up there in front of the class and kind of give some examples of why that you want to lock out, how important it is. Machine starting up while you're in there, closing, and that's the worst hazard, the worst safety issue you could have. So that was well received. We are trying to increase the near miss, near hit reporting. We kind of are changing the lingo a little bit. Mark helped me with that. He gave me this awesome PowerPoint picture that he has that is a ton of examples of near, we called them near misses before, but I always thought, that's so weird, near hits, like you almost had it, you almost had a hit, you almost had a collision. So we kind of changed that up to a near hit form. So we're going to see how that is received, and we hung some big posters out in the plant that we had our design department make that give them examples. So if someone's walking by, I don't know what a near hit would be, what should I report? There's about 20 of them on that poster board, whether it be slick floors, lockout procedure incorrect, one of the pieces of machinery not functioning properly, just report it, report all of that. Don't have to just make a work order, but also turn it in so we can start trending this stuff and finding out where our problems are in the plant. So that's already increased the reporting, so that's a good thing. And then interfacing with on-site contractors, including safety training and safety committee meetings. So, we had this on-site ink contractor basically that just made ink back in our ink kitchen, kind of a real safe area. He was in a nice contained area, doesn't come out on the floor a whole lot as far as, involving with forklift traffic and things like that. But he wasn't going through all of the same training we were, although, he's not doing what our employees do. He isn't working on the machines. But we went ahead and brought him in, and he was real receptive, a good guy, and we're like, hey, we're going to train you on lockout training. He's like, okay, well, I've never gone in your machines. I don't plan to. I go, well, what do you do when an operator has a problem with the ink? Well, I stand outside the machine. He comes in and out, and he comes in and out. And I go, would you be okay with going in there if we taught you how to, go through lockout? Yeah, sure. So just something that hadn't dawned on us, and now so he goes through all of the exact same training that the rest of our employees do. So kind of moving forward with other contractors that we bring in, maybe it's someone that comes in and fills the coffee items. Okay, well, they're not going to have to go through all the massive training that other employees do, but we just have a couple that are there more often than the rest, and we're going to train them as if they're one of our employees. So we thought that was a good finding. Ongoing education on hazard identifications, kind of talked about that already with the slides, and then networking with other SHARP and VPP sites to learn best practices. Obviously coming here, I've already got a note page of stuff to cover there. And then I've heard it from each group that's been up here, but communication between all three shifts and all personnel is critical to keeping the culture going strong. That communication is the key, very much so with facilities that have multiple operations. You just got to make sure everyone gets that same message and it doesn't get mixed up playing the telephone game where I tell the swing person and then they tell the grave. And I got to make sure that we bring them all in separately and everyone gets the same message as far as whatever it may be, training or any safety issues like that. So that's, kind of short and sweet, but I don't want to take anyone else's time up. And any questions? I know a lot of it's, yeah.
So you mentioned that you have two separate safety meetings, a monthly safety meeting for what sounds like for general employees and then a safety committee meeting.
Yes.
So the monthly safety meeting, is
throughout the year.
Okay.
Yes.
And you kind of stagger it that way, try to get everybody involved?
Yes, exactly.
So, you have people that don't go through it because you just say it's voluntary. How do they get the message from it? Is there a means in which if they don't attend for whatever reason, they can still gather the information or get their questions answered or something similar?
Exactly, to that point. Yeah, we have a couple people that have been there for as long as I have and haven't come to a safety committee meeting. But our union president is even on the safety committee, and we ask all of our committee members to share that news. Now, we hang the meeting notes in the lunchroom for anyone to read through, word for word. The maintenance clerk, she does the notes, does an awesome job of that, and then she distributes it out. There's an area in the back of the plant that we hang the notes. So the notes are out there, and we really implore those safety committee members to talk with their coworkers, because you're right, there's some people that are like, oh, so what was said in the meeting, or no one would listen to my issues or whatnot. And having the union president really does help. He joined about 2 years ago, so everyone knows they can go to him, and he'll give them exactly what's said in the meeting. He doesn't miss one. He's probably the loudest voice in there. He brings up a lot of concerns that are like, okay, yeah, they're legit, and he's going to let everyone know that he brought them up. So, I mean, that is a helpful thing. But yes, to your point, and I have a chart of who I have invited, like I said. So we don't have enough room to, and of course we can't shut the plant down for our safety meeting, but when we have safety stand downs, if something major happens, then we'll shut the plant down and bring everybody in the lunchroom and hold a session there. But just the monthly safety meeting, yeah, we make sure we distribute that out so other people get it. But yeah, good question, because we don't get everybody in there. We try, but probably get about 80%. So pretty good throughout the year.